Good morning, all of you. Today we discuss two topics in reproductive health. One is contraceptive methods and infertility. Today we discuss two more topics in reproductive health. One, MTP. Second, sexually transmitted diseases or infections. So first topic, MTP. Medical termination of pregnancy. MTP. Medical termination of pregnancy. What is the meaning of MTP, or otherwise called induced abortion? Induced abortions. So, intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy in the middle of the period before full term is called induced abortions or medical termination of pregnancy. So, voluntary depression or intentional termination of pregnancy. Intentional termination of pregnancy before full term is called MTP or induced abortion. That is the first point. Voluntary or intentional termination of pregnancy before full term is called medical termination of pregnancy or induced abortions. Next one. Second bit. All over the world, 45 to 50 millions of MTP are performed every year. Every year, all over the world. This is second bit. So in a year, all over the world, about 45 to 50 millions of MTPs, medical termination of pregnancies, are performed. And these MTPs are abortions, they account for 1/5 of total conceived pregnancies. This is another bit. Every year, all over the world, so all over the world, every year, 45 to 50 millions of MTPs or induced abortions are performed. This accounts for 1/5 of the total conceived pregnancies all over the world every year. That means total conceived pregnancies all over the world, estimated conceived pregnancies, 225 to 250 millions of conceived pregnancies. So it is accounted about 225 to 250 millions of conceived pregnancies are found in all over every year. Out of 250, 225 to 1/5 pregnancies are terminated. So the 45 to 50 millions of MTPs account for 1/5 of the total conceived pregnancies every year all over the world. That is the important point. Objective. Third point. In India, in 1971, MTP, medical termination of pregnancies, this is legalized. Government of India legalized medical termination of pregnancies in 1971. That is another thing. Next one. What are the causes of MTPs? Causes of MTPs. You see, unwanted pregnancies, termination of unwanted pregnancies. So, if pregnancy is occurred without our will and pleasure, then the person may resort to MTP or induced abortions. You see, normally unprotected intercourse. Unprotected intercourse. Second one is failure of contraceptives. We discussed these contraceptives. Failure of contraceptives. Or pregnancy due to rape. Pregnancy due to rape. And next one, the developing embryo is having any genetical defects. So, genetical defects of the growing embryo, genetical defects of growing fetus. If the pregnancy is, next one is harmful, either to the mother or to the child or to the fetus or for both. In these cases, MTP is recommended. Harmful growing fetus. If it is harmful, if pregnancy is continued, it will affect adversely to the growing fetus or to the mother or to the both. Then MTP is recommended. In these cases, MTP is recommended and it is legalized. But you say unqualified doctors are quacks. Unqualified quacks, practitioners, medical practitioners. In most of these cases in India, the females get pregnancy because of unprotected sex. And social stigma also prevails. If this pregnancy has happened to that particular lady, if it is exposed, she may feel social stigma because it has happened accidentally because of unprotected intercourse. So normally, instead of approaching a medical practitioner, qualified medical practitioner, in these cases, they approach unqualified cats. So the MTPs are induced abortions performed by unqualified quacks. They may be fatal to the mother also, not only to the fetus, to the mother. That's why, without hesitation, we must, though it is unfair to get pregnancy because of various conditions. If rape happens, pregnancy comes. Instead of keeping it and approaching unqualified quack, better approach a qualified medical practitioner and get the pregnancy aborted. Okay? This is the important. Next one. Next bit. MTP is said during first trimester. That means first 12 weeks, 3 months. Trimester means first 3 months. So MTP is recommended and it is safe to the female if it is performed during first trimester. And MTP is risky, is risk during second trimester. And in 7th, 8th, and 9th, MTP is not recommended by qualified doctors. Even performing MTP during trimester is risky, but a qualified doctor can do it. And unqualified nurses and practitioners, if they perform, definitely it is a fatal ending. Okay, that is about the MTP. Safe during first trimester, that is up to 12 weeks. It is risky in second trimester up to 24 weeks. After that, MTP is not recommended. So that is about the MTP. Just 4 important points. Again, I am repeating. The voluntary or intentional termination of the pregnancy before full term of the gestation period is called MTP or induced abortions. Next one. In 1971, Government of India legalized MTP. MTP is normally recommended, particularly in some cases. One is unprotected intercourse and failure of contraceptives. In rape cases, genetically defective growing fetus, and the pregnancy is harmful to the mother or also to the infant. In those cases, normally MTP is recommended. The most important one, amniocentesis. By this process, the sex of the growing child can be determined during pregnancy, particularly before the first trimester. So, the determination of the sex of the growing baby is called amniocentesis. The amniotic fluid is taken out through syringe, and the fetal cells are analyzed. By that, the chromosomal pattern can be detected, so doctors can identify whether the growing child is a male child or a female child. About 25 years back, in India, it is not strictly enforced. Banning the amniocentesis is not strictly enforced. Because of that, most of the female babies were aborted. Now, the present generation is facing the problem that the bridegrooms are not getting brides. There is a demand for brides because bride number was reduced drastically from 2001 onwards. Now government realized it and banned. If any doctor conducts amniocentesis and determines the sex of the growing child, he is punishable. That's why the practitioners never venture to or never dare enough to perform amniocentesis. But 20 years back, widely the amniocentesis test was conducted by the doctors, and the sex of the fetus was identified, and most of the parents had undergone MTPC if the growing child is a female child. That is about MTPs or induced abortions. Next, sexually transmitted infections study. Sexually transmitted infections or diseases. The abbreviation STI, sexually transmitted infections, or STD, or STD related. మనం పాత రోజుల్లో STD చేసేవాడు, టెలిఫోన్ బూత్స్ ఉంటాయి. Sexually transmitted diseases or sexually transmitted infections or venereal diseases. In abbreviation, they are known as VDs. are reproductive tract infection. Reproductive tract infections, in abbreviation RTI, Right to Information Act. Similarly, reproductive tract infections. So, STI or STD, sexually transmitted infections or diseases, or venereal diseases, EDs, or reproductive tract infections, or RTI. So let us discuss the sexually transmitted infections. First one. These infections are confined to reproductive system. Because of the infections of the reproductive tract, the normal healthy condition of the reproductive system is damaged. So what is the main purpose of the reproductive system? 14 systems are present in our body, but reproductive system is so important and unique in our body because it continues the generations. The next generation is only because of the reproductive system in this generation. You see, population, fertilization, embryonic development, and parturition. By that, the next generation, next offspring is produced. So, continuation of generation is because of reproductive system. In a body, the continuation of generations is maintained by the reproductive system. Suppose if it is infected, in the reproductive health, the reproductive system is infected by bacteria or viruses, causes so much of damage and lead to so many complications. What are the complications? You see, the entire system is infected. You see, pain, bleeding during intercourse, burning during urination. All these infections do occur in the reproductive system because of bacteria or virus. So, reproductive infections mainly caused by bacteria, viruses, and protozoa. These are the microorganisms responsible for causing venereal diseases or sexually transmitted infections. Now, most important bacterial diseases. What are the sexually transmitted infections caused by bacteria, caused by viruses, caused by protozoa? ఇదే మనకి నీటిలో వచ్చేటటువంటి ఇంపార్టెంట్ జాగ్రత్తగా నోట్ చేసుకోవాలి. Bacterial infections. Bacterial infections. First disease. Gonorrhea. 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 This is the first bacterial venereal disease caused by Neisseria gonorrhoeae. Positive organism. NCR but you write it down. Gonorrhea disease name was given. Gonorrhea is a bacterial disease caused by the bacterium Neisseria, Neisseria, Neisseria gonorrhoeae. This bacterium causes this sexual disease. Second one, syphilis, another sexually transmitted disease caused by the bacteria Treponema palladium. Second bacterial disease, syphilis, caused by bacterium Treponema palladium. Treponema palladium. Third one, Filariasis. Third type of sexually transmitted infection or disease caused by bacterium chlamydiasis, CHLAMY, chlamydiasis, caused by the organism bacterium chlamydia bacterium. Species name Trachomatis, just below. So chlamydiasis is caused by Chlamydia trachomatis. These are the bacteria causing various diseases. Bacteria in humans, both in males and females. One is gonorrhea, caused by Neisseria, Neisseria, Neisseria gonorrhea. Syphilis, Treponema palladium. Chlamydiasis, Chlamydia trachomatis. These are the bacterial. Which of the following STD is caused by bacteria? Are bacteria causing sexual transmitted diseases? And it's going to be combinations. Definitely, we expect a question in the coming NEET about these bacteria viral diseases. Next one. I think it is clear. Bacterial infections, gonorrhea, Neisseria, gonorrhea, syphilis, Treponema palladium, chlamydiasis, Chlamydia trachomatis. Okay. All these bacterial diseases are completely curable if they are diagnosed at the earlier stage, or in the late stage of the infections. They can be cured effectively. Penicillin is the in late 20th century. You see, penicillin was the effective medicine to cure bacterial venereal diseases. Penicillin. So we don't go to the drugs which are used for the cure of these diseases. That is not required. Just I added only the causative agents of the bacterial diseases. All bacterial diseases can be cured completely. Next one. Next disease. Vaginosis or vaginitis. Vaginitis. This disease is caused by a protozoan parasite. It is caused by a protozoan parasite. Vaginitis normally occurs in females only. It infects the female reproductive tract, vagina, and cervix. And this vaginitis, inflammation of the vagina due to the infection of the protozoan parasite by Trichomonas. Trichomonas, Trichomonas vaginalis. Species name, Trichomonas vaginalis. Right. So this is a protozoan parasite that causes a disease called vaginitis that is identified by inflammation of the vagina and cervix. And coming to the viral diseases. Next one. Viral diseases. Viral diseases. STI. Sexually transmitted infections caused by viruses. Caused by viruses. Next one. First, genital warts. Genital warts. GENITAL. Genital warts. WARTS. Caused by virus. Human papillo viruses. A group of viruses, about 60 viruses, cause genital warts in human. So this is the first viral disease. Second, genital herpes. Genital herpes. HPV caused by virus, herpes simplex, genital herpes, another virus causing sexually transmitted infection, herpes simplex, herpes, that is human genital what's caused by human papillomavirus. Third one, AIDS caused by HIV, you know it, human immunodeficiency virus. It was first diagnosed in 1982 in USA. Until 1992, the existence of human immunodeficiency virus was not identified by the scientists. Though this disease, AIDS, was prevalent in remote villages of South Africa, in remote villages of African continent, where many people used to suffer from this disease. The probable causative root of this disease from green monkeys. This virus was prevalent in green monkeys. From green monkeys, it has been contaminated to humans because those tribal African people used to eat the green monkeys' meat. So through meat, the virus has entered to the human body, and it was spread only in the African continent before 1980s, but scientists did not identify. After the improvement of the transportation, the disease has been spread to all parts of the world. So in 1982, first time this virus was identified. And this HIV causes the disease AIDS, which is incurable. Control the spreading of the disease, control the effect of the symptoms of the disease, but we cannot eradicate the disease completely from humans. HIV. Next, fourth one. Hepatitis B, HBV virus. Hepatitis HBV virus is called HBV. Hepatitis B virus. Hepatitis B virus. You know it causes hepatitis disease, which is also not curable. Not curable viral disease. Other viral diseases and bacterial diseases, they can be cured completely if they are diagnosed at an earlier stage. Or in the late stages also, treatment is now available. Sophisticated treatment is made available to all people, to all these bacterial viral. But there are three viral diseases which are uncurable. So, next one, uncurable viral diseases. AIDS, HIV, hepatitis B, and genital herpes. These three, this is most important. Hepatitis B, genital herpes, and AIDS, HIV are incurable diseases. They cannot be cured completely. So, which of the following group of viral diseases are incurable and cannot be treated? They are not cured. Not cured viral diseases. One, hepatitis B. Number two, HIV. And number three, genital herpes. ఈ ఒక్క పాయింట్ మీరు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. కష్టపడి చదువుతున్నారంటే రేపు నీటిలో అడగదగ్గ క్వశ్చన్ ఇదే. 3 P's. Number one, bacterial venereal diseases. There are 3. మనకి చాలా ఉన్నాయి. మనకి అకాడమీలో ఎన్సీఆర్ క్లియర్ చెప్తున్నాను నేను. I don't want to go with the further details of the diseases. But treatment medicines ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. అవి అవసరం లేదు, అనవసరంగా మీకు So, what are the bacterial STIs? Bacterial sexually transmitted diseases. 1. Gonorrhea. Number 2, syphilis. Number 3, chlamydiasis. They are caused by gonorrhea, Neisseria gonorrhoeae, syphilis, treponema, palladium. Third, chlamydia, chlamydiasis, chlamydia trachomatis. Okay. Viral diseases, viral sexually transmitted diseases. Number 1, genital warts caused by virus, human papillovirus, a group of 60 viruses. Genital herpes, herpes simplex. Third, AIDS caused by HIV. Hepatitis B caused by HBV virus, hepatitis B virus. These are all viral diseases. Out of all these sexually transmitted viral diseases, some are completely curable and some are non-curable. What are the non-curable viral sexually transmitted infections? 1, HIV or AIDS, hepatitis, HBV, genital herpes, caused by herpes simplex. These 3 viral sexually transmitted diseases are not curable, but others are curable. Other viral diseases, sexually transmitted viral diseases caused by viruses can be cured. Either. So, not curable viral sexually transmitted infections. Point. This is the important point that you have to remember. Number 1, HIV that causes AIDS, HBV that causes hepatitis B, herpes simplex that causes human papillovirus that causes what? But incurable is genital herpes caused by herpes simplex. Herpes is non-curable viral diseases, HIV, AIDS, HBV, hepatitis B, genital herpes. These are important. Combinations kalpistharu migitha vaati. Ivi maatrame meer gustu. Next one. Hepatitis B and hepatitis B causes hepatitis disease and HIV causes AIDS. These are normally transmitted from one person, infected person to another healthy person through body fluids. Next, through intercourse, through blood transfusion, use of unsterilized surgical instruments, including syringes. The use of needles of these syringes. If they are not properly sterilized, if they use one person to another person, automatically these 2 viral diseases, hepatitis B and HIV diseases, can be transmitted from an infected person or diseased person to a person. And also, they are transmitted from mother to the growing fetus and mother to the newborn child through breast milk. These 2 are highly dangerous. Other diseases are not transmitted, such a range from person to another person. So, this is about the sexually transmitted infections. Briefly, I explain once again. What are sexually transmitted? Another important one. If these diseases are untreated, If sexually transmitted diseases are untreated, they may cause pelvic inflammatory diseases, in abbreviation PID, pelvic inflammatory diseases. The entire pelvic region of the where reproductive system is concentrated. Reproductive system is concentrated in the pelvic region of the abdominal cavity. So the entire pelvic region get infected, causing pelvic inflammatory diseases due to these sexually transmitted infections which are untreated. So the symptoms of PID